Hey, Ghost Machine fans, this one's for you. Welcome to the Ghost Machine Fans Podcast, episode 71. We've grabbed our crystal balls and we're looking into the future of our favorite comic book publisher. That's right. We are diving into some upcoming and very exciting solicits this time around. I'm Nick, and I'm joined by returning guest co-host Jason Hersckowitz, a.k.a. Millhouses. Jason, thanks so much for coming back on the show. How are you?
Great. It's good to be here. Anytime I'm asked, I love to be here. So even though I'm coming off of a cold here, it's an honor to be here. So I needed to make sure I could be here.
Well, we appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And I already know that you know some stuff that I hadn't even thought about. You always bring something new to the table. When we talk about the book that's on FOC here in a minute. But before we get into that, we, as usual, have a quick shout out. And this one is, I believe I've shouted out one of these two accounts before for collaborating with us, but not both of them. And that's the Nerd Initiative. You've probably heard of them. They had the Cheersy Awards, I think, and we really promoted that with Ghost Machine, and they do a lot of cool social media content. Have you seen those guys, Jason?
A little bit.
It's like a conglomeration of folks that do different content, and it's like the Nerd Initiative. So I checked that out on all the social media things. And then someone who regularly collaborates with them, and he's part of their group, but he also has his own account called Hops, Hops, Geek News, spelled just the way it sounds. So Hops Geek News. And he recently, he and Nerd Initiative collaborated with us on Instagram on a really cool reel about Sisterhood, a Hyde Street Story #2, which was terrifying on the last page. And so we just wanted to shout those folks out. And if you haven't checked out their content, you should totally do that. They do a really wide variety of cool things out there. You know, I'm without my snoggle tonight. She's at a concert with some friends, and I can't blame her for that. But someone has got to do the news. So I'm going to skedaddle because this time the anchor is Jason Hersckowitz.
Well, today, the day that we're going to unveil this podcast is Wednesday, August 13th. And actually, the big news about Wednesday or about August 13th is it's actually my birthday. Which
What?
I didn't really realize because we're not recording on my birthday. So that's the big news for today. So nothing else can really, we do have some other news. Nothing else could top the birthday, but we do have some other news. But the huge news for the podcast is that Jason Hersckowitz, the artist and co-creator of Rook Exodus, will be joining the podcast, Nick and Company, for a conversation, and that'll be released on Wednesday, October 8th. That's going to be in order to celebrate the actual release of Rook Exodus #7. So October 8th is put it on your calendar for multiple reasons. So you can go pick up Rook Exodus #7 at your local comic book store, and you can listen to the podcast and hear the conversation with the creator and amazing artist of Rook Exodus, Jason Hersckowitz.
He's kind of a big deal. He did the 3 Jokers. He did a whole lot of Justice League with Jeff Johns back in the day.
And then when Danny and I, Danny from Ghost Machine, she slipped once and texted me and said J-Bach. So we call him J-Bach now. So that's like an inside joke.
That's actually a pretty cool, you should consider that, Mr. Fabach.
Yeah,
the J-Bach. You can get it put right on a hat or something. It'd be awesome.
There you go.
Is there also a book that's on FOC at the end of the week that's kind of a big deal?
The big deal is Redcoat. Issue #14 is on FOC, so head to your pull list and you have that down.
Yes.
And the reason why it's a big deal is because it's going to, as we've been told, it's going to unveil the first ghost. So we're going to have our first appearance of her first ghost and how that fire happens and such.
Yes. So the understanding is it will include the first ghost prelude, which, as far as we know, is probably heck, it could be the first appearance of several people. And this book is on FOC August 18th. Today is August 13th. That's in 5 days from now. So if you're one of the lucky few that listens to this before August 18th, you must pre-order your copy of Redcoat number 14. It is a vital comic book collecting and Ghost Machine experiencing decision, because it is probably going to be a difficult one to get, in my not at all humble opinion, because of what you got going on there with that book. Keep in mind, First Ghost, that's a series that is going to be written by Brad Meltzer and penned by Gene Haas. So it's a big thing. It's a super duper star creator, who's been part of Ghost Machine since its inception, but it's the first time he's going to be creating something for the brand. And I'm just really excited about that. So the first time we're going to see pages about it is in this issue of Redcoat. You got to get it. But this week we are doing things a little bit differently, because this week we thought it would be appropriate to talk about several issues of mostly ongoing series, one mini series that were solicited recently, coming out in October. And so we've got them down here. We want to talk about each one. Probably going to spend just a couple of minutes on each one, but we'll see, because there's some significant stuff happening in all of them. Like Jason said, the first one that we have, very highly anticipated. If you know about the series Rook Exodus, there have been 6 issues thus far. It already has a massive following. People are screaming to the rafters, where's my animated show? Where are my action figures for this thing? And it only has 6 issues. There's been a break, what, Jason, like 6 to 8 month break? It was like an 8-month break or something between number 6 and number 7.
I don't know. It feels like forever.
It feels like forever.
Forever.
But it feels like forever because we liked it so much.
We haven't gotten any, even a preview or a taste, really. I thought maybe they'd do like some kind of one shot in between, but we haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Just little teases on Jason Fabak's social media. And the first thing that we saw was this A cover that they have for this book, which has like this wintry background, and it has the Bloodhound Warden in the background towering over Direwolf and Rook. And we saw that like way back, but then it was like, no.
What are they being attacked by? Are they being attacked by Bloodhounds?
I think that, so he's like the Wild Dog Warden or something like that. So I think that
this is the first time we've seen like wardens that kind of overlap, right? Like we don't know, like she controls
wolves,
right?
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting.
Well,
will she have any control over, how any other, other canines,
Right. Yeah. Maybe like there could be some, are you envisioning like some sort of mental struggle across the grid between their helmets to try to wrestle that?
I don't know. There's questions there. Mm-hmm. I mean, they must have this all figured out when they design these things, when whoever designed these helmets,
Yeah, maybe it's like DNA.
Rook has he can control a bunch of different types of birds, right? So they're not just one type,
Rooks, ravens,
we'll just have to see.
And crows. Well, this also hinted at, when they originally talked about it, them being in like a wintry biome, because there's different climates on this planet that was terraformed by a big corporation. And the write up on it says that the quest to save Bloodhound begins. And I think that was like Direwolf's dad or something.
It says to save him, but it also leaves it open. It says, or stop him. So he may be up to no good also. There's a possibility.
That's true.
And the cover indicates that, you know, it may be misleading. We don't know, but it does indicate that they are being attacked.
Yeah, that does definitely. And then with him around in the background, it's like those are his dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
And also a big reason you may want to swoop up all the covers for this one. It says Meet Stag, the mysterious deer warden with knowledge that could shake the very roots of the wild with a capital W.
Right.
And that's the B cover. So this is cool. Remember how everybody really dug I really like those kind of portrait covers that they made.
Yeah. So we have, I think they did mass covers for issues 2, 3, 4, and 5, maybe only for I don't think there was one for 6, right? So this is a return of the mass cover, except here they don't have a foil one, which a lot of people are asking for. So when asked that question, Ghost Machine responded that maybe it'll be a con exclusive later, or or something. We'll have to look out for that. But they do have a 1 in 20. But we don't want to skip cover C, which is a great looking cover by Cale New, which is going to be a connecting cover, so it must connect to future covers, I guess, right?
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, I see there it's a connecting cover. I didn't notice that. I like Cale New. I've seen a lot of covers by him, and they're always pretty sweet. They often end up as like backgrounds on my cell phone.
So he's, in the continuation of bringing in some other really good cover artists. He's good. And then cover D is they're reusing something, the cover that not a lot of people have. So
yes,
it was a Fan Expo Canada, I believe, exclusive. Not a lot of people got one. It was hard to get. You had to have gone to Fan Expo Canada and knew somebody, or won one in a contest. I think you gave away one, I think. Am I right?
I've given a lot of comic books away.
I think it was a contest that you gave one away. Signed one.
Signed by Jeff, probably.
Signed by Jeff.
I think you're right, because I think I have one of these. Because that I can say it's probably in my top 3 favorite Ghost Machine covers of all of them.
Wow.
Definitely my favorite, but it's a foil. Yeah, I have a foil one, and it was like a Fan Expo exclusive, and that was it.
Yeah, we didn't see very much.
And it's virgin. I think it's virgin though.
Yeah, it's virgin foil.
Virgin foil.
This one doesn't look like it'll be foil because it doesn't say it, but we don't know. And
I have a feeling that convention one that you're talking about will become harder and harder to find.
Unless they have somewhere. They didn't pop up in San Diego that I saw.
Oh, did you go to San Diego this year?
I did not, but I had my people.
You had your people out there?
I had my people there, seeing what they had. And I did picked up some people in the group that claimed them. I got some of the Sisterhood exclusive that was out there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so this is a great cover to get. And before I forget, just to tell the audience who may not know what an incentive cover is. So this is called a 1 in 20, which means that your retailer needs to order 20 copies. It could be A, B, or C, and any combination. 20 copies of the other covers in order to qualify to be able to get cover D. And if they order 40, they could get 2 and so on. They get 2 copies of cover D. But so it's encouraged to tell your retailer to order that many so they can get that, especially if it's something that you want.
I could not have said it better myself. Important issue of Rook Exodus series coming back. I think at the end of the day, though, no matter how cool the first appearance is in there and all that, I think the most exciting thing is everybody wants more of this book. Everybody loved every second of that book. And I know that Jason has often said, like, the way what he's got cooking it takes a while, and that's why he's doing this. And I can appreciate that. I got no idea, how to do the kind of stuff that he does. Because of that, though, everybody really wants to see this, man. These are really good comics. And so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and looking at the solicit, 32 pages. So you're not just getting 20-something pages. You're getting a whole bunch extra here from a normal, your normal issue of any comic.
And no ads, high quality paper,
definitely
cardstock.
Definitely that high quality paper cover cardstock that Ghost Machine prides themselves on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and before we move on to another, the next book, let's just remember that date, October 8th. That's the date when this comes out, and also when you can hear interview with creator Jason Fabach right here on the Ghost Machine podcast.
You just made me so happy on multiple levels. Thanks. We're excited about that one. We've never had Jason on, so it's going to be awesome.
They sat me next to him, or he sat right next to me, you guys, at that first dinner that I had with Ghost Machine. It was so amazing.
If you haven't listened to the episode about that was Jason's first appearance on the show. I think it's in the first 10 episodes of the show. If you can go back.
And I was lucky enough to get an original piece drawn by him, and I sat next to him, and it was crazy.
Direwolf, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's the next one we got here on this list? Oh, this is another big, huge deal.
I think they all are huge deals.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but this is like a oomph. Like a heck yeah, Ghost Machine thing, in my opinion. But so it's Geiger 19, and it's a spotlight story on more Ash Arden, which is cool because it seems like they're trying to take her in the direction of more heroism. Like they've shown her like beating up bad guys and trying to take care of people after she left, trying to obliterate a lot of other people. So we know there's going to be more Ash, but what makes this a big deal?
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm more excited about what's in the book or or what's on the cover. Not the, or some of the covers, but what's on one of the covers at least.
And to clarify, the A cover is very exciting.
Yeah, the A cover is very exciting, but the B cover may outsell the A cover. This will be like an independent story like on Ash, like as if she had her own book, maybe. I mean, I don't think Geiger will be in this.
It doesn't sound like it. The majority of the description paragraph is about the glowing woman, Ashley Arden, now on her own and off the grid. And
so then rather than give us a issue on like her own book, they'll just give us some stories here, I guess. So this comes out the same day that we just talked about. So you're not going to know which one to pick up and read first. I think people will probably read Rook because it's been gone so long, but definitely want to read this one right afterwards.
So that first cover is Gary and Brad. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But there are two covers that are both these Jim Lee, the Jim Lee covers. And it's the B cover and then a black and white version for the D cover, which is another ratio variant.
Yeah, so she has, we have her skull, I guess, in the background of the A cover, giving off radiation by Gary Frank, and the colors, obviously, with the special recipe that Brad Anderson uses for glowing. And then she's standing in the forefront here, holding a chain up in clasps for handcuffs. But it's cut off a little bit. We don't know that's attached to, if anything.
And so that's the A cover. So that's your standard A cover with your usual team.
But B is an amazing cover.
Yes. It's really great looking. It's got a whole bunch of cool characters in the background too.
And yeah, so it's got images of just about everybody we've seen in Geiger from even earlier on.
Yeah, the young kids.
Yeah.
Zigzag Joe, the King inside of his suit, Nate inside of his suit, the general lady from the recent issue up on the right, I think.
Yeah, I don't know whose eyes, if those are Geiger's eyes.
You're talking about how she's like in the
big eye, the eyes that are in the background of her, under her cape.
They look like Geiger's eyes to me.
Since he's nowhere else on the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
All right, so this is by Jim Lee, inked by Scott Williams, and then colored by Ghost Machine's own Brad Anderson. Pretty amazing. And this is part of and maybe it continues, we haven't heard, but an exchange program.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right? So we're getting Jim Lee and Scott Williams here. And is it a DC cover that's getting
Gary
Frank and Brad and
yeah, it's a Batman. Yeah, it's a Batman one. It looks really cool. I think they released some stuff for it.
Yeah, and it's very similar. It's got eyes like this, like it's got the same kind of format.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's
so.
correct.
It's going to be a nice. Yeah, it's going to be a nice pair for people to pick up and maybe they look good together.
Yeah, definitely. And hey, maybe you're a Batman fan or just a DC collector, and then you're like, oh, maybe I'll check out that Ghost Machine stuff, and then bam, there's a lot going on. Yeah, you're hooked. I like the C cover. I couldn't tell if it was kind of digital arty or something, but I thought it was interesting. It's like Geiger, and you can see his like hood going around him, but then it's as if the rest of like inside of the hood, other than his skull, somebody removed the visual and put a bomb explosion in it.
Yeah.
And it's by Christian Alami and Maury Hollowell. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. We've seen those elements before, but it's definitely a different take on it.
Yes, different style. And then that last cover is this one is a higher ratio than the ratio variant we just talked about. This is a 1/50.
Yeah.
So that means when Jason said everything about what your retailer has to do for that 1/20 for Rook number 7, it all applies to this too, but they had to order 50 of them. And I'll tell you, they're going to do that probably in this case. You want to let them know. You want one. You got to let them know.
Yeah, they'll definitely be selling a lot of the B cover too. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Pull them all. I would pull all of these. I do pull all of these. Obviously. And so, like you said, that comes out the same day. That's going to be a Ghost Machine day right there. So to me,
the other thing that's kind of cool about the B cover is that and we haven't seen a lot of this. This is a thing DC does a lot. Is it's sort of a minimal trade dress where you just have a small Geiger in the corner. With this cover, it would be very difficult. You'd lose a lot of the artwork if you put, the big title. You'd lose 3 characters.
When I see that, I feel as though that was designed by a comic book fan for a comic book fan.
Yeah.
Or a comic book collector.
DC does it a lot now.
Yeah, on the variants, depending on who.
So maybe it was planned that way because the other cover is going to be, we as in Ghost Machine is doing a DC cover.
Yeah, baby. That's right. That's
Hopefully they'll continue with this exchange program with, even if it's not with Jim Lee, but maybe with other artists, other big artists. Maybe like do a little exchange with Todd or something.
Oh, that'd be great. Nice, yeah, it'd be cool to see Gary Frank do an issue of Spawn or Brian Hitch do an issue of Spawn. Although I guess Todd doesn't do the art on most Spawn issues anymore. He does.
No, but he and whoever's the current artist on there, Spawn could do a cover of Geiger or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. That would be sweet.
we did have Spawn on a Junkyard Joe cover done by Gary Frank, I believe.
On the Mad Ghost cover, right?
There you go.
Back when it was called Mad Ghost before they founded Ghost Machine. That's probably a harder to find comic nowadays.
Yeah.
I think I have one of those. I got to go back into the early Ghost Machine box. All right. Well, hey, that's the first one of these. It's about the unnamed, my current personal favorite shared universe, and like everything. And the next one is pretty like this is a little bit different. So Redcoat number 16. And remember, Jason said that number 14 that's going to have the first Ghost Prelude is on FOC August 18th. And now we're talking about Redcoat 16 that, according to this solicit, comes out October 15th, 1-5. And just the cover is, he's like, Simon looks like he has children and lady friend or wife. I can't tell. You can't see a ring, but on either of them. And it looks like he's sewing an American flag and the kids are playing with toys. And it's like, Simon Pure? What is going on? Like, that was just, it really stuck out to me. What'd you think?
No, I like this. I wonder if this is him thinking about, some kind of alternative life.
Well, we know that in 1909, something really horrible happens and someone dies. And I do believe it's been hinted at that it was like a love interest. But there was definitely there were not children in anything up until this point. And it also was the thing that broke him and Albert Einstein's friendship. Whatever it is. And so if you look at because the A cover is a wraparound cover in the traditional Brian Hitch fashion, another one of those reasons, like on top of 32 pages and all the things. And it's just a much higher quality product for the same really low price as anything else, if not lower than most other things right now. And so if you look at the back cover on the wraparound, it shows like him meeting a woman, then courting her, then kissing her, then giving her a ring, then they have children.
I love those covers.
Oh, it's so cool. But it's like, because we knew it was significant, whatever happened, but we didn't have any sense of like him having a family and whatnot, and like what that.
All right, so this is something that happens in the 1900s.
Yeah, 1909.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And it says part 2. So that's we haven't read Redcoat 15 yet, but that's going to be 1909 part 1. We've just been told in previous issues in 1909 that's when the tragedy happens.
Yeah. So I wonder who the remaining founding fathers that he's seeking out are going to be, and he's shocked at by the one he meets.
Yeah, I think
I was wondering if that flag is that flag mean something? Like, could Betsy Ross? I don't think she was considered I mean, she's not a founding father, but wonder if she was one of got the magic. She made the flag, right? So I wonder if she got the magic spell.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that could be. I was wondering what the meaning of the flag here was, if anything.
Well, we do know he's made a point of saying that he gets very good at sewing because he keeps his coat. That's the explanation for how he keeps his coat. He's really good at that. But there are these other 2 covers are pretty cool. There's one by the B cover by Chris Weston, and it's literally him running away from the Hindenburg crashing. So that looks like kind of does like a period piece based on what we're seeing there.
I wonder if he'll have anything to do with it.
Yeah, right. Totally. Or I could see him like inadvertently causing it and being like, oh man.
Yeah.
That's funny. Then I'm a big fan of the artist on the C cover, Raymond Gay.
Oh, we've seen a number of his covers and we're going to see more, I believe. Mm-hmm. For the Ghost Machine books. He
does a lot of Spawn covers and stuff for other Spawn titles. There's like 6 now. And I told him, I messaged him, I was like, this is my favorite thing you've ever done. Because it's really cool. It's Redcoat basically like relaxed against a whole bunch of explosives and barrels and boxes, and he has a match in his hand and a beer in the other, and he's like just ready to make it go. It's just like wonderful. I just really dig the guy's art always. So good way to go, Raymond.
Yeah, maybe he's had it and he wants to. He's hoping that finally does him in.
Right? Oh, like maybe that is what he can't come back from.
Can't come back from being blown up.
Yeah, it's like the old Wolverine argument, like when can't he regenerate or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the Unnamed universe. That's what's going on for that. Let's switch over to the Family Odysseys, because we have 7 total books to talk about in the solicits today. So this next one's Hornsby and Halo 11. It looks like there are 2 covers, main ones, Peter Snaberg and John Cleese. This is very Halloweeny, but this comes out October 22nd. And so even the Headless Horseman's on that A cover. I dig that.
Yeah, so this one comes out right before Halloween, just with the 2 covers that we see here.
The B cover by Ted Brandt and Roe Stein is it's pretty funny.
It's a trick-or-treating, one of 2 trick-or-treating covers that we'll be seeing. So this one, yeah, by Ted Brandt. Well, I don't know if they've done anything for Ghost Machine yet.
Yeah, I do not believe so. So welcome, Ted. And Roe Stein.
Yeah, so the Solicit sounds like this. I don't know if we'll have any elements of Home Alone in here.
Mm-hmm.
Nods to Home Alone, but both of the kids are left home alone when their parents are invited away to New York City by whoever is behind this nefarious plan.
So the parents get invited to leave town, and the kids are still in town. And as a result of that, the kids end up in the catacombs beneath the city to discover an incredibly powerful artifact that could change their celestial and infernal lives forever. So they must like go after their parents, or maybe they're just in catacombs beneath their own city.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the catacombs there.
Why do they have catacombs beneath their city?
Don't know.
Don't you have catacombs beneath your city? We have in Cincinnati, we have the largest abandoned subway system in the United States. It was never utilized, is my understanding. I'm excited for this book. I like the direction it started to go with some of the nuances between the 2 of them. Like, I don't think they're going to fall in love or anything, but I think he's doing a good job of understanding the stages of life that they're in compared to the way the adjudicator communicates.
Have they rescued the adjudicator yet? I don't think so, right?
No, he is currently trapped in the large purple whatever gemstone garbage bag construct on the moon.
I'm assuming he's not back yet because they're not protected here. So.
Yeah, so maybe he's out of commission for a while, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
It may be.
Because he didn't get out of that, as far as I recall.
No, he's stuck.
He is stuck. Now I want to know about that. Because this is issue 11 coming out October 22nd, so we are going to see 1 or 2 issues between now and then. More Family Odyssey action. That's the Rocketfellers number 10. And this is the what you meant by another Trick or Treat cover, right?
Yeah, this is the other Trick or Treat cover. I mean, this cover is really cool because anyway. So that's Francis, and
yeah, the Trick or Treat cover is Francis Maniple, which means he penciled, inked, and colored it. And this issue is it's Halloween in the neighborhood, but it sounds like somebody's gonna be wearing like a costume from the future, and it's also Raina, and that means it's really bad. is how I'm reading this.
Yeah,
she's gonna finally hunt them.
I was hoping she wouldn't find them for a long time, but if she's found them in issue 10, we'll see.
Well, that makes you wonder if it turns into one of those things where maybe the time they're in doesn't matter as much, because if they were to leave the time they're in now, other than their kooky neighbor, witness protection program, mafia friend, what else? Who else would they lose? And then that could be the theme. Like maybe they always Bill and Ted it, and they snag somebody everywhere they go before they get back in the phone booth too.
I don't know. We'll see. I just hope to see them in the time that they're in for a while and see a lot of the interactions between, this fish out of water story of a family from the future being, out of their time. But let's go back to this A cover, because what's cool about it is it has somebody dressed as everybody from the whole Ghost Machine.
Oh, wow.
The
Look
whole
at
Ghost
that.
Machine line of books.
Wow.
So just about everything is represented. You have Grandpa is dressed as Pranky. Yeah, so you've got him dressed as Pranky. You've got Roland.
Yeah, Roland's dressed as X-Ray.
Yeah, Roland's dressed as Mr. X-Ray. You got the wife dressed as Redcoat.
Yep.
The daughter dressed as Rook. And she likes birds, so you know.
Oh, that is really appropriate.
Yeah, that's appropriate. And the son is dressed as Geiger. And then
Yeah.
what's funny is that you got Rex. They put another head on him.
Oh, like Bernie.
Yeah, so he's like Barney.
Uh,
And then they felt bad, so I think there's a Halo and Hornsby in the background there.
oh, there is. There he
So
is. You see Hale Hornsby
so
running
they got
around.
included.
Well, that jives though, because they're supposed to be in the
Oh
same
yeah, they're on the other
thing.
cover.
So they're in the other cover.
Sure.
If you go to the other cover, I was wondering if you could see the Rocketfellers in the background. No, you can't. But yeah, it makes you wonder.
There's a Junkyard Joe in there, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
really?
Right behind her.
Oh, yeah, there is a little Junkyard Joe.
So lots of Easter eggs here.
There and Raina's
something
back
to look
there.
for.
Raina's back there. Right, but Raina's in between Hornsby and Halo in the back, in the middle.
Is that right?
That's Raina. I would bet you dollars to donuts.
Okay.
I mean,
Could be.
oh my goodness.
Or Darth Vader.
Or Darth Vader. And the Solicit only shows 2 covers. It shows a B cover too, so we'll maybe get some clarity on that. But the other one is Raina sitting in like an evil throne of Starship Doom with a sword. Not Halloween, but very cool. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. And to your point about like more stories about a displaced family in a different century and that, I would agree. I'd like to see more of the era that they're in before a change. I really am enjoying the twists and turns of what the science is and who Raina is and that.
Yeah.
But I would totally read an issue about like goofy stuff that future people did in the modern era, and not a lot of other stuff.
The best issues have been like where the mobsters come after them and they're not home, but Rex is home alone. And the Christmas tree, you know, how they were shopping for a Christmas tree, and then he makes one and it just explodes or whatever. So, you know, these are the best, like their interaction being from the future and trying to, you know, and apply what they know from the future into our current time is, yeah, I'd like to see like some science projects of the kids in the school, and, you know, stuff like that.
That's a good point. Details like, well, then they're good at details like that. Peter is very good at putting details like that in stories to tell the story more. So, and make more characterization.
I mean, to me, the being hunted down thing, I was hoping it would take a while, but so we'll see. Yeah,
well, maybe to me that could be as simple as like she almost gets them and then she gets trapped.
Yeah, or she comes to her senses that they're her family.
Yeah, or they incapacitate, and that it wasn't like there's so many.
Whatever happened in the future, that she lost her eye and everything, is not her fault.
No, yeah, well, and that she's got the evil dude too, the evil muscly eye dude, and all that. Evil. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That one comes out October 29th. So that's like super Halloween-y right there.
Yeah, we're getting close to Halloween. Hopefully. When does Hyde Street come out?
Well, so that's the next one on this list is Hyde Street 11. That also comes out October 29th. So that's appropriate. Very, very cool. It's a another Halloween book.
Nice to be coincidentally like almost right on Halloween.
Comes out right around Halloween, and that's gorgeous A cover by Yvonne, Danny, and Brad with presumably our character, the Butcher, standing in like blood red rain, and he looks kind of like a bus driver type of guy with like a bus driver's cap and suit on, like back in the day. And it's called The Butcher of Hyde Street Part 1.
Yeah, so have we seen the Butcher at all? Like anything?
So that's the thing. That's what I just realized. The way this is described It says the first horror event of the Breakout series begins here. So they're saying it's an event. That's cool. One of the most infamous and terrifying residents in Hyde Street history has returned, unleashed after decades of imprisonment. So my fan theory is that the matinee monster has him imprisoned.
That's a good theory. We might have even heard that already.
I think it's been implied or something, because I think it's been like on a panel where you saw the door where the guy was trapped, and then it was like, and then the butcher or something like that. I think it's, yeah. But this should be he hasn't been seen though. We just know he's trapped. Right. And so this will be his first appearance.
So we'll have to see, is he a danger to both the residents and the visitors, or what?
Right. Good question. The way he sounds just like all out evil bad all around.
Yeah, like we ain't seen nothing yet, from the residents.
Yes, right. Yeah, good call. So you're Cale New again on the B cover of this one. Same guy we were talking about with that Rook cover. And this one's Pranky reading some comics.
And what's really cool, what do you think is really cool about that? So Cale New did a cover for that we just looked at, and I think he's reading that.
Yeah, he's reading an issue.
He's definitely reading Rook. It might be the Cale New cover. I don't know.
That's cool. And the C cover is Mr. X-Ray with some really cool superimposed, like you can see the circles of his glasses superimposed over the whole image. And then like the smoke it's very like Blade Runner-ish or something. I don't know. And that's by somebody interesting.
Go Raza, amazing artist cover. Yeah, I mean, it may not have anything to do with this issue. It's great cover art.
It does say that this is not just a killing spree. It's the beginning of a reckoning. So we know there's going to be a lot of killing, because it's not just a killing spree.
He doesn't just kill. It sounds like he maims. Like, hide your hands, hide your feet.
That's true.
That's what it says.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I wonder if he's got a little butcher shop on the street.
Yeah. Because the quote is "Hide your hands, hide your feet. The butcher's back on Hyde Street." Oh,
I wonder if he's like called the butcher, but I wonder if that's a profession too.
Maybe that's why he's called the butcher, because he's a serial killer that chops people up.
Yeah, like which we've heard. There's been butchers before.
Well, that is a definitely fantastic, creepifying book coming out on the horror holiday, October 29th, right around Halloween. So make sure to pick that one up. And our last book is in the same universe of Hyde Street, but it's a different title. I've been enjoying this series. How about you?
Yeah, so issue number 4. We haven't, we're up to 2, so we're waiting for 3. Issue 4 is the one that we're going to talk about. That's on Solicits. But issue 4 comes out October 22nd, and I don't know what we're going to see from issue 3, but we'll see. So here we have 2 different covers. So I like the fact that not everything has 3 covers, or even has even incentives. So it's just kind of more your more special books have incentives these days. Is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cover A is by the internal artist, who's amazing, Layla.
On fire.
It looks like it's a combination of the 2 characters behind bars, right?
Yes.
Because what we've learned so far is that, what are their names, Sophie and
Violet. Violet is the one that died, and she is on the right, and then Sophie is the living.
Sophie is inside. I mean, Violet is inside of body sharing here. So we didn't, when we spoke about issue 1, we didn't know that. Remember back when we spoke about issue 1, we didn't know what the outcome was at the end, because we didn't quite see it yet. Because she just sees her in the mirror and underwater. But she's clearly inside of her. But how she can speak to her or see her is by looking at a reflective surface, it seems.
Yes. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
So they're sharing the body, and she's kind of Sophie. Violet's kind of guiding Sophie on what to do and how to get back at the people that did this to her.
and at the end of Sisterhood 2, the thing that happens, in case you haven't read it, I'll just say the thing that happens raises the question as to whether or not she's inside her or can just make her do things or whatever. And the way that this is described here says Violet's spirit, still trapped in Sophie's body, struck again, this time murdering several sorority sisters. So what I want to know
Yeah.
is like, does that mean like she literally takes her whole body in control and does a bunch of stuff, which means that like she gets totally framed for doing all this stuff, which is part of the
I think so, because
yeah.
so she decided she didn't want to pledge the sorority, but then she did. She told her, I'm not doing it, right? But then she does it. So did she? Was that Violet in charge of the body?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, my worry, and I worry for the character. Not I would not have a problem with this as a plot device, but my worry for Sophie is that because this was all put in motion by Sisterhood on Hyde Street, that she in fact has like just schizophrenia or something, and that in the end, that will be the tragedy that is discovered that it was just she was in the wrong. She was a victim of Hyde Street, and that's just horrible. Then it's still horrible. It's like, well, then the thing you did to her is you put your dead friend's spirit in her body, really, and that's why this is happening. So, like, either way, all around, it's like, oh man.
Well, she's basically turning her into a murderer here, was what we're going to say.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I thought that B cover was cool by Maury Hollowell and Clara Meath.
Yeah, we're getting to see a various cover artists here.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it to me looks like Sophie sitting with police officers in front of a one-way mirror wall or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can see Violet's spirit poking out and above her, and like she's like trying to hide from everybody. So it's interesting imagery. I really am curious in the end what happens. So that's coming out October 22nd for Halloween-ish, a week before or so. And you will, number 3 is going to be coming out soon. I believe that FOC has already passed.
Yeah, so October is going to be a great month.
Ooh, yeah,
especially with the creepy stuff. And we got New York Comic Con, but right before that, October 9th through 12th.
Oh, okay.
So there'll probably be hopefully announcements and exclusives and signings and stuff there. We'll see.
Nice. I like talking about these solicits because it's a lot of fun. If you have any thoughts, ideas, fan predictions, that's something we would really like to hear. You got a fan prediction out there? Some of these little preview tidbits you get and things like these solicits, it's a really great way to come up with that kind of stuff. We'd love to hear about it. Shoot us an email at ghostmachinefans@gmail.com. And so as usual, if you send us any of those fan theories or predictions at ghostmachinefans@gmail.com, we'll read it off as a listener mail, which we have one of those tonight. Would you like to read it, Jason?
Yeah, we have a listener mail from Joshua Trees. I guess a U2 fan, maybe. And he or she asked the question, is the monster in the Blizzard image anthology story the monster on the unnamed timeline? And we've heard this question before.
Yeah, I don't know have we ever had it like on the show?
I don't know if we've ever.
I know it's been on like Facebook every 6 months, and then someone new asks it.
People are always asking this.
Yes,
I think it's been ruled out. But
it's 100%. Yeah. So this was where Joshua Trees is talking about the Blizzard image anthology. It was 12 books and there were short stories and you put them all together and you get the Blizzard. And it was a Ghost Machine book, and it was part of the Unnamed, and it does have some unnamed character cameos. And then in the book, it's about some people, like they're prisoners, and they get hunted by a monster. And then what Joshua Trees is saying is in the Unnamed timeline, there's something on there that's like when the monster begins and all that. And it's, I think, in the era of like World War II. So people were like, oh, is the blizzard the first appearance of the monster? I was like, oh, the blizzard must be the first appearance of the monster. So I have a copy of the blizzard issue that has the monster from that story on the cover. And I made we used to do Speculator Sunday. We now just do like preview reels for the show, but we used to do Speculator Sunday reels. And one of them I put out one that was like, you need to buy this book because this is the one that is the real first appearance of the monster on the Unnamed timeline, did all the things. And within just a few minutes, I got a message directly from the source that said that was not the case, that they're just similar in name, but the monster trademarked on the timeline is a different thing.
Right.
I took the video down.
For those that aren't familiar, listeners / readers that aren't familiar, you don't have to go and buy all 12 of those Image
anthology books,
issues. Now you can buy the Blizzard as a trade paperback, so you can get the whole thing in one.
Yeah, and that's totally the way to do it.
Of course. Yeah.
Do that.
Some of those are hard to find, especially the one you were talking about, and it's also the first World Tree. The first World Tree preview. So for those Tinian fans of World Tree, that's a book to get for that reason as well.
The book, the one that I put in the video was slabbed, and it does say on it first appearance of World Tree.
Right.
Yeah, it's noted on there.
So it's a key for multiple reasons.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. And there's another question. It says, also, do you guys know if the Northerner will ever get he says, get his own title? So
we can never say never. So we just talked about Geiger issue 19, and Geiger issue 19 looks like it's not going to be about Geiger. It's going to be about Ash. So will the Northerner get his own book series like Junkyard Joe got, or will we just see more stories that come out part of either Geiger or Redcoat? But we haven't seen the last of the Northerner. That we know.
No, we haven't. No, we think it because they're right in the thick of it. We're about to see him in Geiger, the next issue, and
we're about to see a lot more.
I think because I say that because at the end of another issue, that was the thing that they saw that. I think the end of the last.
There's enough story that we have not been introduced to him as far as his origin story. We haven't seen his history. We don't even really know what time he comes from, what timeline. Like if because he's clearly, we've been told he's from a different timeline. And so there's a lot of story to tell. They just have to decide if it's going to be its own book or what.
Yes, and the Northerner logo is like trademarked.
Yeah. But have we had another one like that? Yeah, there's a book that the issue
First
that
Ghost.
Ash. Well, First Ghost. Yeah.
I think Ash the monster.
We haven't seen Ash as a trademark like logo, but we saw it was like the first appearance of the glowing woman. It said, right?
Mm-hmm.
The glowing woman, I think, was the kind of one that had a trade dress. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. We all want more of everything, and definitely more of the unnamed. More is better, I think.
More is better.
I don't think, at least personally, I don't think I'm even close to it at a point where I say there's too many Ghost Machine books.
No. Yeah, it'll be really an amazing October for Ghost Machine. Holy cow!
September is going to be good too.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot coming out, a lot to catch up on, a lot to keep up on.
And join the Hyde Street Facebook group if you haven't.
Oh yeah. So how do you find that? It's just the Hyde. Is it the Hyde
It's
Street?
just Hyde Street.
Yeah,
It's Hyde Street.
called just Hyde. I'm in there, but so
Yeah.
you don't. You can just look up Hyde Street. You don't have to do Hyde Street fans or anything.
Yeah. I'd like to start having some content. And it's hard to I don't want to step on the toes of the main page, but I feel like there is enough, that we can start doing some Hyde Street specific content.
Yeah. There's some cool Mr. X-Ray cosplay stuff on Reddit as well.
Okay.
It would be good to let that community know about the Hyde Street Facebook group. So we'll have to spread the word on that.
All right. Sounds good.
Good idea. Good idea. All right. Well, if you want to check out all of our other content, you can do that by going to www.ghostmachinefans.com, where all of our social media platform things are. Also, make sure to either check out the Instagram or the Reddit for the Discord invite, because we've got a lot going on over there, a lot of chatting. It's pretty cool. The community's been growing. And don't forget to check out the Ghost Machine Comics Facebook fan group as well. And thanks so much for joining us tonight on the Ghost Machine Fans Podcast.
Podcast.
That is a really good one.
There you go.